Hello and welcome to Who Watches Who, a Doctor Who podcast with me, Matthew, and as always, I am joined by...
Hello.
Who's this?
Hello.
Who's this person?
It's
Hello?
Scott. Hello.
Hello. It's Scott. It is the end of the month somehow already, and we are... At the end of the month means the monthly news roundup, so we're going to be looking at I'm so tired, all the Doctor Who news that's come out in this past month, which has been interesting month for Doctor Who news. Russell the Davis just can't help himself, can he? I was like, I'm done announcing stuff till next year, and then comes out with another announcement. Okay, that's it, and then another announcement. Then he's like giving an interview about how he's not giving any more announcements while an announcement happens behind him.
He only did one announcement this month.
Yeah.
Which isn't bad, only because this guy, this nameless dude, we will get into in a second, is filming on the streets of London, or was. I don't know where he is at the moment. I don't know where we're filming at the moment.
We've got to go find him. Where's
Actually,
it
we were in Bristol, weren't we?
I think so, yeah. Yeah.
It's all about the same in England, isn't it?
Basically, yeah, let's jump into it, shall we? So, Scott, who was this mysterious person that Russell the Davis so teasedly teased with his cryptic posts on Instagram?
What was it this time again?
It was just two hearts and the diamond again. It was
a diamond, yeah.
Because for the 60th.
You know, he could have tied it into How I Met Your Mother, you know, because obviously it's Neil Patrick Harris.
You could have done like a high five.
Or a suit.
Or a suit, yeah. Yeah.
Or tie it into his character, who is the toy maker?
Maybe. That's the big rumor. And by big rumor, I mean basically confirmed by all the sets, is that he's the toy maker, which is not a villain that I am aware of. Or, it'll be a villain that I come up soon in my Doctor Who rewatch when I eventually get back into that, because it's a first Doctor villain, isn't it?
No, you won't, because 3 of those 4 episodes are missing and aren't on BritBox, so...
Awesome.
You're out of luck.
Well, I'll never watch it again.
Basically, he's Squid Game, but Doctor Who.
Oh.
So, that explains it all.
He's the entirety, like the whole show?
Yeah.
So he's Saw.
Neil Patrick Harris joins Doctor Who. Emmy and Tony Award-winning actor and comedian Neil Patrick Harris joins the cast of Doctor Who. I just read that. Neil Patrick Harris, American star of stage and screen, has just joined the cast of Doctor Who.
You should proofread this before you read it out loud, you know, because you've just read the headline 3 times.
I'm reading DoctorWho.tv and just providing the same information.
Yeah, they have to hit a word count, you know.
He is currently filming scenes. Well, he was filming scenes because he's not filming scenes anymore. But he is currently filming scenes set to air in 2023 as part of the show's 60th anniversary. Russell T. Davis, showrunner, said, "It's my huge honor to open our studio doors for a mighty Neil Patrick Harris. But who, why, what is he playing? You'll just have to wait. But I promise you, the stuff we're shooting now is off the scale. Doctor beware." So,
I don't know about you, but when this was announced, I kicked myself and went, oh my god, of course he's in it, because Russell the Davis, much like Chris Chibnall, very much likes working with people he's already worked with before, and Neil Patrick Harris, very prominent in It's a Sin episode 1 as a guest star. You know,
just episode 1. I haven't seen the show.
Well, he could be in other episodes. I've only seen episode 1 personally. I haven't watched any episodes after that because there's too many TV shows. But he's in episode 1. I know that for a fact because I've seen it. And of course he's going to be in Doctor Who because Russell the Davis just likes working with people he's worked with before. And I was like, how did we not see this coming? How did nobody ever think, oh yeah, he's going to be in the show? Maybe it's because he's American. Or maybe Canadian or something.
He's American.
And whenever I'm thinking Doctor Who, never once am I thinking, ooh, what Americans are going to be in it. You know, it's a very British show.
This is a huge get for Doctor, you know. Because obviously he needs a big name attached to the 60th anniversary. Obviously we still have David Tennant and Catherine Tate was a huge names in Doctor Universe, but I don't think...
Yeah, Neil Patrick Harris is a big star.
I think it will get more people in to watch.
It's going to
Doctor
be...
Who.
I'm not ready for more people to start watching Doctor Who again, because...
Why is that?
I'm not ready for their opinions on the show.
More
I
more
don't want
people
to.
watching Doctor Who means more people listening to us, my dude.
Yeah, I know, but I don't. Stay away. You know. Now it'll be good. More people watching Doctor Who's always for the benefit, even if they do have bad opinions.
But you know, Russell T Davis is writing it, and he's not woke. He's not woke at all. You watch any of his programs or anything like that.
Yeah.
There's no politics. There's nothing. It's just
Yeah.
all.
Now, Gay as Folk was like straight down the middle, really played all across the country and never once tried to push the boundaries of, what could be acceptable on TV and what, like, push our standards. It's a very safe choice, Russell T Davis, Never
It's
rocks the boat. Never rocks the boat.
It's amazing that people out there still think Russell T Davis was never woke. But the Slovene two-parter in Series 1 wasn't about the Iraq War and shit like that. Like,
It's
really?
like, it's people are dumb and think politics was only invented about 2 years ago.
It was invented in 2016. Let's be real.
Yeah, that is true. That is when politics was invented, and I think black people, if I'm to understand what people think, it's just ridiculous, really, isn't it? There's this meme going on at the moment in the Star Wars prequel community on Reddit about, Star Wars not being political as it just plays scenes of the Senate behind it. It's like, yeah, Star Wars has never been political.
Star Wars literally have a group of characters called Stormtroopers.
There was literally, right, somebody was saying that episode 4 is an analogy for the Vietnam War, and somebody commented, like, that's ridiculous, unless the Americans are the Empire. And it was like, oh, you're so close to hitting the nail on the head there. You've just...
Dude, I've seen people call the casting of Neil Patrick Harris woke just because he's a gay man.
Yeah. Wait till they find out about Russell T Davis. That's gonna...
It's not because Neil Patrick Harris is a very talented actor or a musician or anything like that. It's because he's gay. He's
an A-list star who was just in a Matrix movie. He was in a hit sitcom for like 10 years, and
and Doogie Howser lasted
he's been a star since he was a kid.
And he was in all the Harold and Kumar movies, which were really fun.
Yeah, no, this is a classic case of nepotism if I've ever seen it. No talent at all.
But Neil Patrick Harris on Twitter says, "My current gig never looked more dashing. Thank you for inviting me into your Whoniverse." I almost said Whedonverse for some reason. Joss Whedon.
Why would you ever want to talk about Joss Whedon? He's a black mark,
He says, "I'll try my hardest to do my worst. This doctor has no idea what's in store, and even if he does, who cares? Ha 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 ha."
Okay. So he said this doctor, and not these doctors.
Yeah.
And
So
this doctor is just David Tennant that we've seen.
Yeah.
No, not Shooty.
And so David Tennant has been shooting for like 5 or 6 weeks at this point. There's no sign of
And
Shooty
nobody
anywhere.
and nobody else has been seen outside. Unless Shooty Gat was like confined to his TARDIS, while David Tennant runs around the streets. It's looking like Jodie's gonna regenerate into David Tennant. Every day I get a little bit more believing that that's true.
Yeah, which, if Neil Patrick Harris is playing the toy maker, some argument could be made that he's altering reality. This is a new universe. This is not the Doctor we know. This is an alternative Doctor, maybe.
It could be. I feel like having your first episode back as showrunner be hey, it was all a dream universe anyway, here's the real Doctor at the end. It's kind of a cop, like it's kind of a cop out, to get people back to watch David Tennant and then be like, and it was all a dream. Even if it is like this multiverse thing. I feel like that'd be a bit weird.
At the same time, I don't feel right about going backwards in the character of Donna. If last time we left her, if she remembers the Doctor, her mind is going to explode. I don't like the idea of all of a sudden, oh yeah, she can totally meet the Doctor now. Okay,
Yeah.
and she named her daughter Rose and
I
all
mean,
that.
you know, that'll be explained. For me, the big hard bit is still Jodie regenerating into David Tennant and just the context what that means for the outside of the show. Within the universe, it has some precedent. You know, if you think about like the caretaker and stuff, oh, you'll revisit a few old faces, but just the favorites. You know, like so there has that precedent for it to actually happen in canon. It's more the outside view of, oh, cool, Matt Smith, Capaldi, and Jodie Whittaker is no longer canon. Don't need to worry about that. You know, which I don't like.
We will see what happens. But speaking of Neil Patrick Harris, what do you think of his outfit? Because I think it looks
I love
great.
it. I think it's great. Yeah. Uh,
And
it's
yeah,
it's
obviously we're like 99.99999% certain he is the toy maker because the set has the greatest toy maker signs. There's a toy shop, and he has like those little like tweezers toy makers have. You know?
yeah, and we've also in more Neil Patrick Harris news, we've seen him dressed in two outfits. One is this tinkerer looking like toy shop owner looking outfit, and the other is kind of dressed like he's going to a funeral with black makeup on, and he's dancing through the streets and as chaos reigns around him, and that was just very cool.
Those images and clips on Twitter of him dancing through the streets reminds me a lot of the Joker.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, I'm very much. I'm so interested to see what the 60th anniversary is going to be, and I always keep forgetting that we actually have the centenary special still coming up. We still
Yeah.
have a whole episode of Doctor Who that nobody's
Yeah.
talking about. There's not been any adverts, no teasers. Well, Russell T Davies is out here, like getting Doctor Who more hype than ever.
Yeah. And he's not really doing anything other than actually just filming shit out in
He's just
public.
letting people. He's just being like, "Oh, by the way, Doctor Who's still about," and people are like, "Oh my god, that's so cool," you know.
I do love how Neil Patrick Harris was announced and everybody was speculating, is he the Valiard? Is he the new master or something? And the next day people were actually allowed to go on set and just look around. Oh, there's a toy shop over there. Oh, there's a sign that says the greatest toy maker. It's the toy maker. Which is like a great way of like it's not intentional, but it's like fans just looking for clues, which is
Yeah,
really fun. It creates a conversation and theories already,
yeah.
and we haven't even seen a proper image of this since 60th anniversary yet.
Yeah, I know. No official like screen grabs from any of the rushes or anything. Just selfies and camera footage and phone footage, which is interesting. But we've not, to be fair, we've only seen one trailer for the centenary special. I'm
Yeah.
not even sure it's real.
Yeah, this is going to come out in October, so that's 3 months away. I think
I can't believe
marketing-
October's 3 months away. What the hell?
I feel like marketing should start soonish, but I know it
If
won't.
we learned anything from Flux, it's like 2 weeks before it airs. That's when it comes.
Oh
you know.
yeah, we'll know the marketing starts when all the social media websites
Deletes
just
itself.
go down.
Yeah, yeah.
That's how it works nowadays. For some reason, to promote yourself, you have to get rid of everything.
You know, I hope that when they do start promoting it, Russell T Davis actually does like post out some posts on Instagram about it because, I don't even think Chibnall has social media,
Yeah.
whereas Russell T Davis much more active and has a following and could bring eyes to it. Like, oh, you definitely want to watch this centenary special. It was written by my great friend Chris Chibnall.
But
you know?
even then, it'll be like, oh yeah, make sure you watch the cliffhanger because
Yeah,
it'll all
watch
tie
this.
into my
Yeah,
60th
yeah,
anniversary.
yeah. Watch for my doctor coming back. That's gonna be exciting. You know. Yeah.
But yeah, the centenary special is out of my mind at the moment, as is the obviously Ncuti Gatwa as the 14th Doctor. I haven't thought of him that much since he was announced because obviously we've just seen David Tennant running around the place.
Yeah, because we've seen David Tennant so much, I forget about Ncuti, and we've not had too much teases with Ncuti. We've not seen him in his outfit. We've not
No.
seen any promotional photos with him, because he's not the Doctor yet. He's going to be the Doctor after David Tennant.
Is he off filming Garfield?
Yeah.
I mean Barbie.
Maybe I think he was maybe on holiday the other day. I saw like
Okay.
a post come up, and he was way off on holiday somewhere.
He's either filming Barbie or Sex Education. I presume the production of his episodes of Doctor Who will begin soon. I hope we see his costume soon.
It could be that the 60th anniversary is like 2.5 hours long, and David Tennant is just like a small part of it, and it's like you're like flashing through history where the toy maker had attacked at certain points, or you're going like through like here's mini stories with the Doctor, or here's one where he defeated the toy maker, and Neil Patrick Harris is like a cameo, more than the overarching villain, and the overarching villain is actually Beep the Meep.
Oh yeah, Beep the Meep. We knew it was coming.
That's what I.
Did
That's
we? Our favorite character, Beep the Meep.
I don't know if anybody knew it was like 3 people that read the comic knew it was coming, and 2 of those people wrote it. Like, I don't want to click on this link, Scott.
Which link?
The one that's the Daily Mail.
That's where it came from, baby.
That's gross. You click it. I don't want to click it. They're not getting my cookies.
Doctor Who villain Beep the Meep is set to make its show debut alongside the Wrath Warriors when David Tennant returns as Time Lord for the show's 60th anniversary next year. Villain Beep the Meep, an alien which looks like a fluffy rodent, is set to battle the Doctor in the upcoming new episodes plural. A source told The Mirror, "Younger viewers will love Beep. He appears to be meek and cute, but he is as deadly as Dalek or a Cyberman." David 51 was spotted filming with his co-stars in the streets of Cardiff this week, with the actor sitting next to a fluffy creature in a car. The menacing Wrath Warriors were also set to appear when the sci-fi series returns next year. So that's Beep the Meep.
I don't know if it's true. Well, one, take it with like the biggest mouthful of salt as possible, because this is being reported by the Daily Mail. So,
have you seen the set images of them on
I've not.
set?
I've not.
It's in the docs. It's like the last one of this story.
Okay.
And I'm telling you, these look a lot like the Wrath Warriors and Beep the Meep, or Beep the Meep. Yes, I get confused. I think
that is like 100% Beep the Meep. My God. That even that those Wrath Warriors look amazing, but they look exactly like the drawings, and that Beep the Meep looks like Beep the Meep. He looks like this big cuddly furball thing, It's like somebody made a gremlin big. Beep the Meep. Beep the Meep confirmed. That's 100% confirmed.
Yeah, these characters were introduced in the comics in like the 90s during the Wilderness era, and nobody thought of them since the 90s in the Wilderness era. And yeah, very strange to bring them back, but it's exciting as well. It's like the first comic book characters. Can we have Frobisher the Penguin? The shape-shifting alien who just loves to be a penguin.
Yeah, it's gotta be. I like the idea of the comics pulling into the canon a lot more, because one, that makes me kind of want to start reading the comics, because it's the one thing that's always put me off reading the comics is there's too much Doctor Who already, and this isn't canon, so I'm not gonna bother with it. Yeah,
I haven't read much of the comics either, apart from the time when I was doing research for K9, and I was looking for issues of Doctor Who magazine, and I shared an image of Tom Baker with you. It turned out that comic book actually has Beep the Meep, so I'm going to read a synopsis of that comic and tell me if it makes sense. Tell me if it's not the craziest idea ever. Beep was fleeing Galactic Police when he activated a dimensional warp, sucking him, the Eighth Doctor, and Izzy Sinclair into a parallel universe, where they arrive at the BBC television centre. Beep planned to use raw black star energy to enslave humanity and ultimately the galaxy. Although Beep captured the Doctor, Izzy recruited Tom Baker to act as a distraction long enough for her to reprogram Beep's machines and defeat him. The authorities then took him away to a zoo.
What? Okay. One, that's great, but what if, Scott, and this is a wild theory right now, what if David Tennant isn't playing the Doctor? What if David Tennant is playing David Tennant playing the Doctor?
Yeah, that could tie in,
Oh, what if he is... They're just remaking the comic, but having David Tennant instead of Tom Baker.
David Tennant is warped into a reality where he is like, what's that fucking movie? It's like Star Trek, Galaxy Quest. You know?
No, I love Galaxy Quest. Great movie.
And
Great
we're just
movie.
warped into a reality where all this is
Yeah,
real.
yeah.
And
It's just
he's like,
yeah,
but I'm just a TV character.
yeah. I'm
And he
I'm
runs
just David
he
Tennant.
runs he runs into Donna and the Cybermen and the Daleks, and he's like,
Mhm.
what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah, and that's why he looks so confused when he's holding the sonic screwdriver in that one set image we got. Is because he's actually David Tennant in the world of Doctor Who. Uh, I see if that's actually true. That's gonna be the weirdest episode of Doctor Who for people to watch. Like, it's gonna be such a strange part of the canon.
I'd be all bored on it, I love meta comedy like that.
Yeah, it would be such a weird first episode for Russell T Davies to come back to, and a weird 60th anniversary, but just weird enough that it would pass for a 60th anniversary.
Yes.
Doctor Who anniversaries need to be big and wild.
And it needs to be self-referential, David Tennant could be going around being like, this show's a bit shit, actually. The
Man,
special effects don't hold up.
these aliens look like they're just wearing costumes.
But yeah, Beat for Me from Ralph Warriors are coming to the 60th anniversary, which is
100%. And it's possibly more than one episode if you're to believe what the Daily... That could just be a typo and the Daily Mail didn't fix it, which I would not be surprised by. But maybe more than one episode, which I could see. You could have multiple episodes spanning across with different doctors.
Yeah. We know there's at least 3 specials from the leaked rumours, which obviously came out as leaks, so...
Yeah. God, what an exciting time for Doctor Who.
I don't know. I don't know if 2 of them are going to be David Tennant, and the third one is going to be Ncuti Gatwa. We don't know at the moment.
And there's also heavy rumors about Matt Smith and Capaldi coming back as well.
Matt Smith and Capaldi were in London, but I think Capaldi is filming a TV show in London, so he's not on board for Doctor Who.
Not yet.
And I think Matt Smith just lives in London, so
yeah. And he got a haircut, which was confirmation that he's coming back.
Yeah, the thing is, with Matt Smith's hair, he always has the hair of the 11th Doctor. It's not like he just got haircut to look like the 11th
he doesn't
Doctor.
have the hair of the 11th Doctor. The 11th Doctor just has his hair. They didn't style it. They just kept his hair the same.
I think people overreach when it comes to all these theories and shit like that. But yeah, Beep the Meep and Warfare were...
I'm so excited for Beep the Meep. That's so weird. It's such a weird... I'm so excited for it.
You've heard Beep the Meep's song. That was
I have.
It
is an amazing song.
There's a part of his song where you put a dog in a blender.
Yeah,
it's great.
You should definitely search up the Beep the Meep song and listen to it if you haven't already. I'd include a clip, but songs get copyrighted like nobody's business. So you should definitely go and look it up.
Yeah. And you know what else we should look up?
What?
You want to take this since I've been doing all the reading?
Yeah. In other news, we have got a new starting point to get on board with Paul McGann's Doctor. The 8th Doctor Adventures. Hell yeah. I mean, or you could do what I'm doing and just go way back to his first ever adventure and listen to it canonically. But the 8th Doctor Adventures enters a new era of standalone stories to land later this year. Following a decade of continuous adventures, the 2 new box sets, What Lies Inside and Connections, will have a November and December release respectively. Joining Paul McGann in the TARDIS is the brilliant Nicola Water from The Split and Unforgotten as Liv Chenka, and Hattie Morahan from Enola Holmes and Beauty and the Beast as Helen Sinclair. Doctor Who, the 8th Doctor Adventures, What Lies Inside and Connections are each available to pre-order. Yada yada yada. Oh, only £20. That's not too bad per title. The 2 exciting stories for What Lies Inside are Paradox of the Daleks by John Dorney and The Dalby Spook by Lauren Mooney and Stuart Pringle. What a name. What a name. And then in Connection, you have 3 stories with Here Lies Drax by John Dorney, The Love Vampires by James Kettle, and Albie's Angels by Rory Gill. Producer David Richardson said that it's a new start for the 8th Doctor. After 10 years of long-form interconnected storytelling, the range begins again with standalone stories. Each box set can be enjoyed in isolation. It begins sometime after the ending of Stranded, and at the same time, sometime before it. If you've heard that final episode, you will understand. And there are battles to fight, people to save, and enemies to defeat. Some will be familiar, yet many will be new. There are so many stories yet to tell in the 8th Doctor range. Which is super, super exciting. One, because it's more 8th Doctor stories, which I discovered. He has produced Big Finish every year since they started coming out and has not taken a year off.
basically since 2001, I think he jumped on board.
Yeah, he 20 years he's been doing
Yeah.
Big Finish every year without a break. What a man. Best doctor. The best doctor, Paul McGann. And yeah, you jumping on point where they were like, hey, 10 years of canonical storytelling where you have to listen to it in order seems like a lot. Maybe we should stop. I was like,
Yeah, because the last 16 box sets for the Eighth Doctor was all connected, telling one story. And every
Yeah.
time we came across it when we were looking at what's coming out next month, we're like, this sounds great, but I have no idea what's going on. And we can't read, we can't listen to this. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
because you have to go back to so many to listen to them. It's just it's almost overwhelming, but I love that he's still making them. Maybe we would review one of the box sets when they release. Maybe,
Perhaps.
maybe you know, I've been wanting more. I want more Paul McGann in my life.
When's the
And
first one out?
November.
Nice.
So you know, we might have a slot to slip that in somewhere. You know, I enjoy. I just want more Paul McGann. I love him so much. He's such a good doctor.
The guy is like 62 and he looks amazing.
I want him in the 60th anniversary. God damn it! I want Jodie to regenerate into him.
Yeah, he needs to come back at some point because, you know, the general audience only know him for the TV movie as, you know, the movie was shit and we're not going to bother watching that because it doesn't really connect to New Who, it doesn't really connect to Old Who. So
Yeah, where
what's
in
the point
reality
of
the
watching
movie's amazing and connects both of them perfectly. Like,
Yeah, you can listen to our podcast in the movie where we discovered Doctor Who movie is actually pretty decent.
it's so good, so good. Love it.
But yeah, more Eighth Doctor stories, and we're starting at a good starting point. I'll probably listen to this. I'm all on board. And our next story is...
It's not loading for me.
Is it not?
No, it's just a white page.
Well,
Yep,
it's
it
loaded
is
for me.
just a white page. So you read it.
So yeah, Verity Lambert, TV legend, Doctor Who producer, honoured with a blue plaque. Oh, I've got a weird pop-up. Love Radio Times.
Great website.
I think it's telling me to complete a survey. No
Yeah.
thanks. Waris Hussein and Stephen Moffat unveiled the plaque together at Riverside Studios in London. Some major names in the history of British television gathered on Sunday, 29th of May, to honour the pioneering producer Verity Lambert as Doctor Who's very first director. Waris Hussein and former showrunner Stephen Moffat jointly unveiled a blue plaque on the wall of Riverside Studios in Hammersmith. As the first ever female producer in the BBC drama department, Verity made a name for herself, launching Doctor Who in 1963. Across a long and prestigious career, she produced dozens of successful and fondly remembered programmes, such as Take 3 Girls, Budgie, and a whole hell of other things. She died in 2007, and this is like the second time we had to unveil the plaque. It was previously unveiled in 2014. However, Riverside closed shortly afterwards for redevelopment, and it reopened in 2019, but had hardly got up and running before the pandemic hit. So they're doing it again, and well deserved, because we wouldn't be here talking about Doctor Who without her.
Yeah. And what a nightmare setting that thing up sounds like. Do not envy that job.
And what a nightmare being like the only female producer in television in the 60s.
Oh
That
yeah,
sounds-
I'm sure she had to deal with a lot.
The docudrama An Adventure in Space and Time is a good docudrama because it really goes into how unfair she had it, and that was kind of watered down as well. So I can't imagine how much worse.
How worse it was in real life. Yeah. But
yeah,
she persevered, and she's made a name for herself. Okay, shall we move into Big Finish? It's a very quiet month for Big Finish.
oh boy, yes.
There's only 5 releases. Doctor Who, Emancipation of the Daleks. Bill Potts has an unexpected visitor. Another Bill Potts from 20 years in the future. Bill summons the Doctor, who confirms that the other Bill is the genuine article. She has come to see her younger self for a reason, but she can't say what it is without creating a paradox. Moments later, the TARDIS cloister bell sounds. A damaged Dalek war saucer is traveling back through the time vortex on a collision course. The Doctor dematerializes the TARDIS to avoid it, only to cause the spaceship to crash land in Earth's recent past. When it rematerializes, the TARDIS is now in a world altered beyond recognition. The city of Bristol has been reduced to rubble, save for an interstellar rocket construction site and a top security research complex. The complex is guarded by robo-men and flying security drones piloted by Dalek mutants. The Doctor quickly realizes what's happened. History has been changed, and the Daleks have conquered the Earth, enslaving the human race. He couldn't be more wrong, and Bill's about to discover that her past, present, and future are no longer her own. Okay, I have a few thoughts immediately.
Yes.
The sentence, the complex is guarded by robo-men and flying security drones. What does that remind you of, Scott? What sort of thing have we seen in Doctor Who recently that has robo-men guards and flying drones?
I'm trying to think of what you could possibly mean. I don't know.
You know, it's a sort of K9 experience.
Oh, okay, you're thinking of K9.
I'm
okay.
thinking of K. How could you, the Robo-Men in K9, the Robocops? You know.
You are right. You know, I forgot all about K9.
I was reading that and I was like, Capaldi falls into the K9 universe. What?
That would be a wild twist. But,
That would be.
This is a 7-hour book. Are you gonna pick it up?
Oh my god, no, I'm not going to pick it up. 7 hours. Oh my god. What I'm interested in with it is canonically, it doesn't seem to make sense. How can Bill meet herself from 20 years in the future because she's off traveling space with a puddle and she's like dead?
But also, this is apparently another universe where the Daleks has achieved victory. So maybe this is a twin planet.
Maybe. I'm not going to pick it up. It's cool that it exists. It sounds like a fun sci-fi story. And I like Capaldi. And Bill, I like more stories with Bill because we didn't get enough of Bill. She was a really good companion.
Yeah, this is an audiobook, and Big Finish are basically the only company putting out books for Doctor Who. They can't actually put out books because they don't own the rights to publish paperbacks, so we have to do audio books instead. But yeah, fun. It sounds fun.
Yeah,
I'm not into audiobooks that much.
I'm not into audiobooks at all. I like physical books.
And it has a neat cover. It really does.
Yeah, it's one of their painted ones. Always like a painted cover.
Our next one is Doctor Who: The Second Doctor Adventures Beyond War Games.
Beyond War Games.
Now, this is a really long one. Before Earth, before Unit, before Exile, the Second Doctor enters into a dangerous bargain in return for his freedom. And we have two stories in this one. The Final Beginning, which sounds like a paradox, by Mark Wright and Nicholas Briggs, which is 4 parts. Nicholas Briggs just loves to write for every Doctor, basically. Believing he has escaped exile and a change to his appearance by the Time Lords, the Doctor finds himself lost in a snowy alien world. He is not alone. Prospectors Katrona and Silas are stranded on this nightmare planet, but without his TARDIS, the Doctor is powerless to help them. Seeking answers and freedom, the Doctor's hopes and suspicions are aroused when a crashed TARDIS is discovered in the snow. Are Katrona and Silas as innocent as they seem? And who is Raven, the young woman who watches from afar? From Disney Channel. That's so Raven.
Yeah.
Long buried secrets are about to be revealed in this icy wasteland, and the Doctor discovers at every end is a terrifying new beginning. And I'll just basically sum up. The second story is Wrath of the Ice Warriors by Andrew Smith, and it's a story with Ice Warriors, obviously, and the Brigadier. And this is basically set. This is season 6B. This is set after the second Doctor regenerates into the third Doctor. So it's exploring the secret missions, but the Doctor goes on by the Time Lords.
Yes? It's set after the Doctor regenerates.
It's like. So basically, at the end of Series 6, the Doctor is forced to regenerate. And as Season 7 opens, he collapses outside of his TARDIS. We don't actually see the regeneration. This is after Season 6.
Yeah. Oh, so... But it's the second Doctor adventuring, not John Pertwee's Doctor.
It's the second Doctor, but basically...
But it says in the description he's got a new face.
The fan theory for years was that when the Time Lords forced him to regenerate. They actually sent him on secret missions. So this is the Doctor doing secret missions, and I think he's like in the middle of regeneration, maybe.
Strange. Well, I mean, if anything, that gives more credit to Flux, where the Doctor has gone on many secret missions that he doesn't remember.
And Michael Troughton is the Doctor in this, and this is Patrick Troughton's son, which is
he plays the second Doctor quite a bit, and for Big Finish.
Yeah, he just did a multi-Doctor story of John Pertwee's Doctor, so which I never picked up. But yeah, I'm interested in this. I'm interested in how it fits into the canon. Probably isn't canon, but
Yeah, yeah. Next up, we have got a Torchwood story with Torchwood Restricted Items Archive entries 31 to 49. What a catchy title. The Restricted Items Archive is where all the items too dangerous for Torchwood are stored. Yanto Jones carefully catalogues each and every one, and he always works down there alone. Only something's not quite right. There's a secret in the Restricted Items Archive that won't go ignored any longer. So it's Yanto in a big warehouse doing paperwork. Oh yeah.
Basically. Yeah, this one doesn't interest me.
It doesn't interest me. The cover's just Yanto in a warehouse. It's fine.
Like, I understand they're wanting to keep a mystery, but you need to give something a bit more than this.
It reminds me the way that they're describing the the storage place for all that. Did you ever watch the show? I think it was Warehouse 13.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what the.
That show was terrible, but ace.
It was dumb fun. It was a dumb fun show. But that's what that description reminds me of. Just a warehouse full of spooky things for just no real reason.
That's kind of what Torchwood is in the first place. They always have these weird alien artifacts lying around the place.
Yeah, very true. And sometimes they turn into Cyberwoman.
Yanto Jones just hanging around in a warehouse doesn't interest me. Or I know there's something else going on, but there's nothing to latch onto here. Our next one is wait, it's loading. BNW1 Brave New Worlds Unit. Brave New wait. I'm very confused. It says
it's Brave New World Seabird 1. That is like unit subtitle Brave New World, subtitled Seabird 1. They're really good at titles at Big Finish.
I just confused the hell out of me. What the fuck? So yeah, this is the Cold War is over. How come I always have the longest ones? The Cold War is over. The millennium is fast approaching, and Brigadier Winifred Bambera is the new head of unit. But in this shadowy, unpredictable world of deadly threats and hidden enemies, Bambera and their new team, Sergeant Jean-Paul Savarin and Dr. Louise Rix.
No, be Jean-Paul, like Jean-Luc, It's French, so.
Fair, okay. We'll need to prove their mental. I don't know.
Their metal.
The stakes are higher than ever. Okay, cool. This is the Brigadier that was introduced. I think the story is called Battle World. It's a 7th Doctor story in season 26.
Yeah, I've got literally no interest in this story, like even a little bit. Even the cover is just a bunch of army people looking serious, and I'm like, I don't care about this. This, Unit, I think, are probably the most boring Doctor Who, agency. Torchwood are kind of grimy and scummy, which makes them interesting. Whereas Unit is just like, we're the army.
Torchwood is sexy,
Yeah.
And Unit is just like, oh yeah, this is just my grandpa's organization. This character was introduced in Battlefield, and I don't like that story, so I don't feel that much attachment to the character of. It sounds fine. I'm sure a lot of people will be on board for this because it's the first time she's done a Big Finish story in like a decade or something, but it's not my cup of tea.
Yeah. And our next story, holy crap, this has me excited just looking at the cover. I'm going to read the description and get even more excited.
Who is the guy on the far right?
I don't know, but the guy on the far left is that one dude from the episode.
No, you're wrong. It's the dude's brother.
Oh, okay. My mistake. My mistake. It's his brother, but he looks exactly the same, and that's what's got me excited. But Doctor Who, Classic Doctor, New Monsters, The Stuff of Nightmares. 4 new adventures featuring classic doctors encountering monsters from the new series of Doctor Who. So in this one, we've got 4 episodes. The House That the Hawks Built by Tim Foley, The Tivolian Who Knew Too Much by Robert Valentine, Together in Electric Dreams by Roy Gill, or eclectic, a hard word to pronounce, eclectic dreams, and If I Should Die Before I Wake by John Dorney from a Story by Jacqueline Rayner. So this is a 3rd Doctor, 4th Doctor, 6th Doctor, and 8th Doctor adventure, with them encountering spooky monsters from modern Doctor Who. It's such a cool concept. It's such a great concept.
It's the 3rd Doctor and Sarah Jane in a haunted house, invited to dinner by the Hawks of Balhoun, which is the brother of, was it Mox of Balhoun?
Sure, why not?
And it's the 4th Doctor and Leela in the Timble Phoebus.
I don't remember what Tivolian is.
This is This is like the 3rd box set of classic Doctors, New Monsters, and we're just kind of reaching the bottom. Of the
real
barrel.
deep cuts now.
The 8th Doctor and Charlie with Dream Crabs. Do you remember the Dream Crabs? 'Cause I certainly don't.
Not a clue. But it's cool. It's just cool to see, the 3rd Doctor, 4th Doctor, 6th and 8th in a cover together. It's a cool team up, and also, it's even more Paul McGann, which I'm all for. I'm all for more.
Paul McGann with Dream Crabs. Maybe they were from the last Christmas episode. I'm sending you the links to the old ones so you can have a look as well. So I think these ones have more interest in monsters and shit. So like the first one had Weeping Angels with the 5th Doctor, the Jadoon with the 6th Doctor, the Sycorax with the 7th Doctor, and the new Sontarans with the 8th Doctor.
See, this was their mistake, is they did all the big cool monsters in the first episode.
I mean, the second one was Vivastra and Nirada. We know what happened to my shadow monsters with the 4th Doctor.
Of course I remember the Vashta and Nirada.
The Rachnos with the 5th Doctor. I don't recognize the one.
Oh, the one with Paul McGann's is from Capaldi. That's a Capaldi monster. I think. I don't remember what they did, but I think it was a Capaldi monster. I don't recognize the green thing with the electric around it.
Yeah, I'm trying to read. I'm not sure, but these ones had more interesting things, I think.
Tell you what, I much prefer this style of cover as well.
Yeah.
I think it's a very cool. It's very, very like actiony looking type of cover.
Yeah. Big Finish aren't very good with their covers. They're all just rather standard. I'll tell you what, the new 8th Doctor covers for the new 8th Doctor storyline looks pretty decent. You put the 2 covers together and it basically forms like a giant poster. That looks decent.
That's cool. Yeah.
But so out of this list,
it's very short releases this month for July in Big Finish. I think, as much as we were kind of saying it's scraping the barrel, I think Stuff of Nightmares is the one I'm most interested in. It's kind of a lackluster month for Big Finish. I
think I'm more interested in Beyond War Games, which is the 2nd Doctor adventure story.
It just confused me. I wasn't on board for it.
I think you'll understand once you just read the season 6B.
Reading?
Yeah, basically the idea is the 2 Doctors brought back Patrick Troughton as the 2nd Doctor, and they mentioned the Jamie understands what the Time Lords are, and it's like, oh yeah, you couldn't have understand what Time Lords are because in the 2nd Doctor era, we never told you what the Time Lords are, so this must be after you met the Time Lords. And it's kind of all bullshit. It basically raveled from like a plot hole.
Yeah, I love people jumping through hoops to try and make sense of something that just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, Doctor Who's canon is non-existent.
Yeah, and that's what makes it good. That's what makes it good. And, but yeah, very short month for Big Finish. Very short month.
Oh yeah, you know what else we do have? We
What?
have Dalek Invasion of Earth 2150 AD 4K.
Oh,
Try saying that 5 times fast.
and it looks pretty nice, doesn't it? It looks.
Hell yeah.
I really like the art. I really
So
do
it
like the art.
basically has all the special features of the last Dalek box set, but I'm getting this for sure. I already have the new one that just came out of the first one. I haven't
Really?
seen it yet because I'm not in a hurry to watch that movie. Surprisingly, again.
Yeah, because it's terrible. I haven't bought the first one yet because I don't really want to go jumping 50 quid to get
You can get the steelbook for 30 quid.
I know, but I want the one that comes with the coin and all the collectible stuff if I'm going to get it, because I already have the Blu-ray. So if I'm going to buy it again, I want to buy it with all the bells and whistles, you know?
You also don't have a 4K player, do you?
No, I don't, because I don't even have a 4K TV, so I'm not buying a 4K player. Blu-ray's fine. But yeah, I don't want to dump 50 quid on it. Really, too much. It's cool that it exists. I might get it when it's cheaper, but I just want it. I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to drop 100 quid on DVDs I'm not going to watch
You
just for
better
some
be
knack.
careful because it's limited edition.
Yeah.
That's where they get you.
Yeah, with the 12 reviews it's got on Amazon, I think I'm going to be okay.
Well, it's not out yet, is it?
No, for the other one that is out.
Right, okay.
It has 12 reviews on Amazon, so I don't think it's going to run out anytime soon. And it's only got 4 out of 5 stars.
Not surprising, that movie's not that great, but I imagine the restoration is brilliant, because we
What?
did do that screening the other day in London.
Oh, apparently everybody was just very expensive at how much it cost to get some knack. That's what the negative reviews. All the reviews are like, it looks great. You know, it's really cool that they've remastered it. And it's a fun film. But oh my god, I paid £50 for like a magazine and a coin. Like, yeah, it tells you on the cover what you're getting. Did you just do it for a surprise? Like, I think it's quite nice. I think it's nice looking. But yeah, I don't want to spend 50 quid on it.
It's a nice little collector's item. I'm not going to buy the movie again because I already bought it like 3 times already.
On YouTube, on Blu-ray, and now on the collector's edition in 4K.
I might have even had the DVD at one point as a kid.
Yeah, now we just need to find it playing in theater and go see it in the cinema. You know?
I still want to see it in cinemas, but
I'd like to see it in cinemas, but
at this point, I'm not sure if it's going to come out in cinemas.
it won't. Even if it does, it's not coming to Aberdeen, is it?
No, nothing ever comes out to Aberdeen.
Yeah. What's this next piece of news we've got? This seems like a lot of words.
Yeah, so this is Doctor Who The Target Collection 2022. If you don't know, Target is famous for basically novelizing a bunch of classic Doctor Who stories, and we're still kind of keeping up the trend of, adapting new ones. So next month we have The Stones of Blood, which is a 4th Doctor story written by David Fisher. We have Androids of Tara, which is a 4th Doctor story, also written by David Fisher. We have The Fires of Pompeii, which is obviously a 10th Doctor story written by James Moran. And we have The Eaters of Light for some reason. You know, the one episode set in Aberdeen.
Set in Aberdeen. See, right. Okay, Eaters of Light gets crapped on because it's like the worst episode of Capaldi's last season. But Capaldi's last season is amazing. And The Eaters of Light is like a solid 6.5 out of 10. It's fine. And it gets that extra half point for being set in Aberdeen. It would have been a whole point if it was modern day, but it's just a field.
Well, this book has a chance of making that episode more interesting. If you scroll down, the cover looks great.
It does. It's very stylized and cool. As far as the Eaters of Light, like making the story more interesting, it's a dumb story. it's so if you don't know, the story for the Eaters of Light is there's like this interdimensional dragon thing that's eating people.
The writer was born in Aberdeen. That's interesting.
Oh wow. Rona Munro. I wonder if they're related to Blair. We went to college with a man called Blair Munro.
We'll have to ask him.
Also from Aberdeen. We will have to ask him. That could be.
Get her on the show.
Was born in Aberdeen, has written extensively for stage, film, radio, and television. Her breakthrough play, Bold Girls, won the Susan Smith Blackburn Prize as the writer of Survival.
She wrote Survival?
She also wrote Eaters of Light. She is the first and only writer of stories for both classic series of Doctor Who and the new series of Doctor Who. So she wrote. She wrote classic Doctor Who and new
Dude.
series of Doctor Who. She's from Aberdeen. She wrote The Eaters of Light, which is the only new Who set in Aberdeen. We need to get her on the show. We're
She also wrote the last episode of the classic series. That's insane.
wow. Wow. She probably still lives in Aberdeen, honestly. I'm just saying we're just gonna track this lady down and get her on the show.
Yeah.
I was just crapping on her episode, but the best episode ever. Come on the show.
And I was crapping on the episode as well. I haven't seen it yet, so
Yeah,
I have to give it a chance.
I've seen it like 2-3 times. But be cool to have Aberdeen alum from Doctor Who. We've got to find this Rona Munro.
Survival was a great fucking episode. I think a lot of Survival is actually based, actually comes back to modern Doctor Who because it has a very suburban kind of feel. Survival is great. We should do Survival.
Yeah. Well, Rona Munro, if you're listening, and I know you are, send us an email at Who Watches Who, and I genuinely would like to interview you on the show. That'd be cool. We
should definitely contact Blair because if
Blair,
there is a
Blair, have you had like a gran this whole time who's been writing for Doctor Who and you just never said?
It's possible,
Yeah, it is also possible that Monroe is just a very common name for the Northeast.
No. There's only one family with the last name Monroe.
But yeah, that's good. What an interesting discovery we've just made. That's very cool. Very cool indeed.
So yeah, I'm definitely going to get this book now.
Yeah. Should watch the episode as well and compare them.
Yeah.
In other news, Penguin are publishing a Doctor Who book, The Return of Robin Hood. The fourth Doctor, Tom Baker, returns to Sherwood Forest in this incredible new crossover of Doctor Who and the Legend of Robin Hood. Gold has come to the Greenwood. Robin Hood is disenchanted. Maid Marian has disappeared, and the legend of the Doctor has retreated into the shadows of Sherwood Forest. But the Doctor is back, although this is his first visit. Time travel does strange things to his story. And the timing couldn't be better. A new sheriff in Nottingham is in town, out to get the outlaws, and behind the scenes, the mythical Mother Madeline has designs on the realm that are not of this earth. With the kingdom in peril, it's time to return of the Lionheart. So, obviously we've met Robin Hood quite a few times in Doctor Who, most recently with Peter Capaldi, where he gave him the finger.
Yes.
Yeah, so we've met Robin Hood quite a few times in Doctor Who, and it's going to be interesting to have the Doctor meeting Robin Hood again for the first time and being like, hey, but you're not real. Even though I'm pretty sure when Capaldi met him, he was like, hey, Robin Hood's not real. And then, again, canon, who cares?
Yeah, Doctor Who is just... I don't think this is canon. A lot of this doesn't make any sense, but yeah, this goes back to like the books we were covering last year. Exactly a year ago in June of last year, there was a Wizard of Oz book, now Camelot book with the 10th Doctor, if you remember that.
Oh, yeah.
And I think this is part of the same range, although the first one was published by BBC Books. This one's done by Penguin, so I guess we just shifted publisher. I'm not going to get this. I think there's another 10th Doctor story coming out. But
yeah, I'm not going to get it either. I have too many books I'm reading at the moment.
I also don't like Robin Hood apart from the Disney film.
I also am not a big fan of Robin Hood too much either. I'm not even that big into the Disney film. I think it's meh. Although it's one of my favorite memes of recent times is, Robin Hood steals from the rich and gives to the poor, and then the poor guy's like, oh my god, thank you, Robin Hood, I'm rich. And then Robin Hood's like, you're what?
Doctor Who and Robin Hood,
weird
tales old as time.
Yeah, weird that they keep crossing over. It's such a strange connection.
How many times have they actually crossed over? Because I'm sure it's just been once.
No, because is Capaldi really the first time they ever met with Robin Hood?
I don't know.
Feels like it can't be. Like, how did they go that long and not meet?
All what's coming up is the Robot of Sherwood.
Oh wow, maybe Capaldi was the first time they met a Robin Hood.
I'm sure there's audiobooks and prose
and comics and
there's a episode of Doctor Who where he went to Sherwood Forest.
Okay.
And a comic book as well.
Christ.
And also, Robot of Sherwood, the only thing I remember about that episode is where we cut to a picture of Patrick Troughton as Robin Hood.
I remember that as well. And
which is like the best part of that episode.
it's a really bad episode. I remember it being really bad.
I
And
also
it's like
remember the
Capaldi's
episode.
second episode or something.
Yeah, I also remember the episode got cut because at the time ISIS started making videos of beheading people, and the episode just happens to have a moment
my
where somebody was
God.
beheaded.
Oh my god, I completely forgot. That was like a huge controversy at the
Yes.
time. Jesus. Yeah, I totally forgot that happened.
So that's the
Oh,
only thing I
yeah.
remember about that episode.
ISIS censored Doctor Who. But
But
in
yeah,
oth-
you want to read this one?
yeah, sure. In other news, penguins. Yeah, a bunch of penguins wrote another book, and they're
You know what? Penguin should do a spin-off series about Frobisher.
yeah, they should. But Penguin are releasing another Doctor Who book called A Short History of Everyone, The Ultimate Guide to Monsters, Humans, and Time Lords. An incredible bind-up of 3 stunning Doctor Who guides with brand new content from the 13th Doctor Who era. For over 40 years, the Doctor has battled against... Well, it's almost 60 years. The Doctor has battled against monsters and villains of the universe. This book brings together the best and the worst of his enemies, companions, and fellow Time Lords. Why are the Daleks so deadly? What did Sarah Jane Smith do after she left the Doctor? Who exactly is the Master? And how did the Doctor defeat every threat with a little help from some friends and a lot of luck? Whether you read it on or behind the sofa, this book provides a wealth of information about the monsters and villains that have made Doctor Who the tremendous success it has been over the years, and the galactic phenomenon that it is today. Sounds interesting. Sounds like a fun lore book. But I'm not gonna get it.
It sounds very basic lore stuff, and also
Yeah.
it's 3 books combined. So this is
Yeah,
basically.
it's like a bunch
Oh,
of
yeah, we
old
just have
books
to
with
keep
a little
updating this
a new book added on the back. You know.
Also, they didn't bother changing the synopsis because obviously it says for over 40 years.
Yeah.
For almost 60 years now, buddy.
Yeah. So yeah, it seems like a Doctor Who annual type thing, you know, where at the end of every era they just release a new book whenever the Doctor regenerates.
Speaking of being behind a sofa, did you ever watch Doctor Who behind a sofa?
No.
'Cause I don't think anyone ever did.
No,
Such a weird trope.
I would get scared at episodes and maybe like try to hide away or look away when a jump
Yeah.
scare happened or something, but I would never like physically move off the sofa to hide because it's
Like,
it's a TV show.
I understand like hiding behind a blanket or a pillow or something
Yeah.
like that, but getting up
Yeah.
from your sofa and hiding behind it.
Yeah, no, never.
It's such a weird cliche as only being attached to Doctor Who. I can't think of any other franchise that has the phrase behind the sofa attached to it.
No idea, but strange. A bunch of books I'm not going to get, but I'm glad they exist. For if somebody is like, if there's like a kid who's just
Yeah.
getting into Doctor Who and wants to know more,
Also,
awesome
it
Christmas
is
gift.
weird to do a 4th Doctor children's book. You know, everyone's favorite Tom Baker.
Yeah.
Every kid loves to read about Tom Baker.
There's at least one kid that loves him. At least one, you know.
Name that kid.
Jeremiah.
Jeremiah.
Jeremiah. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm a decent month for July.
Yeah, it's very quiet. Very quiet release schedule compared mainly in the Big Finish front. There's a lot of books coming out, which isn't usually the norm. Usually
Yeah.
it's like one book and a heap of Big Finish, whereas now it's a little bit of Big Finish and quite a heap of books.
And of course, we have issue 2 of The Fugitive Doctor, which I'm still not going to read because obviously it's not going to tie into anything on the show. And it's just
Yeah.
going to be her on adventures, but it doesn't really matter. So
Yeah.
I'd maybe pick it up if this era of Doctor Who made her a more interesting character. But at the moment, it's just like, oh yeah, I'm a secret incarnation. Goodbye.
I like that they exist. They're cool that they exist, I guess.
Yeah.
You know.
But Twitter is weirdly attached to her, even though she's not really done anything.
Yeah, that sounds like Twitter. That sounds exactly that. I'm not surprised by that. You know.
Yeah. But what are we doing next month?
I don't know.
Do you know?
Let me find out. What are we doing next?
I'm the person who put together the schedule, and I don't even know.
What month are we in? We're coming into July. So next week we have got Attack of the Cybermen Part 1, followed up by Part 2 the week after that. This is apparently a sequel to Resurrection of the Daleks. Which Doctor is this? Sixth Doctor.
Yep.
Yes.
It's our first visit
First-
with the Sixth Doctor.
First visit with the Sixth Doctor. I'm very
And
excited.
It's also a sequel to Tomb of the Cybermen. It's also a prequel to the 10th Planet. There's a lot of Cyberman lore in this one.
Interesting. And then after that, we will have Human Nature and Family of Blood to end out July with. So we're doing two-parters throughout July. Family of Blood's one of my favorite two-parters of all time. Absolutely amazing. Very excited to see what Attack of the Cybermen hold. July is going to be a very good month, I think. Yeah. But besides that, we're done with the news, so you can stop listening if you want. We can chat for, I don't know, a few minutes just to wind down. So what have you been doing, Scott?
What have I been doing? I went to London and it was okay.
Yeah? Just okay?
I saw a lot of Doctor Who placed and I was like, oh my god, it's Doctor Who. I also got a Bok pin.
Yeah?
Our good old friend Bok, and I also got this T-shirt of a Crispy Master.
You did. It is crispy. His eyes are a bit scary.
But yeah, otherwise I've been watching Stranger Things, which is bloody very good.
It is so much better than I was expecting it to be. You know, I was a bit down on it coming back. I was like, I'm not that excited. And then I watched it in a weekend. You know.
Yeah.
It's very good season.
I was expecting to kind of watch it over the span of like a month, but I got addicted to it because the runtime kind of put me off. 75 minutes an episode was a bit too much on paper, but I think overall it worked out. I don't think there was any like story arcs, but overstayed its welcome. I think it could have been longer because in the final episode, Mike and his friends weren't even in that episode.
Yeah. I loved it. I loved it, and I'm looking forward to next week that comes back.
It's July 1st, yes.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna watch that right as I finish work. Wonderful.
And it's gonna be 4 hours.
Yeah, it is, and I'm gonna watch it in one sitting probably.
Hell yeah!
Can't wait. I've been doing a lot of reading recently. I'm on my 4th book this month. I've just been binging books. I'm currently reading through Stephen King's Dark Tower saga. Very, very good so far. First book was a bit mediocre, but the second book has took it and started running, and it's become extremely very good.
How big are those books? Because I've read Stephen King books that are like 1,000 pages.
The first one is about 250 pages.
Oh wow! Okay.
The one I'm reading now, which is the second one, is about 530 pages. And then I think they're roughly about 500 pages till you get to the end, and it's like 1,000.
That's not too bad.
Yeah, it's Stephen King. He describes scenes very vividly. Often, I think he uses too much descriptions, and he likes to use flashbacks in the middle of his descriptions, and then he flashes back into those flashbacks. But I think I do enjoy his writing. I think he's very good. But I've not been really watching.
You also
too much.
started watching Halo.
I did start watching Halo, and I'm a huge fan of Halo. I've played all the games. I've read, quite a few of the books. I know a lot about the lore. It's this weird thing in my brain where I got really obsessed with Halo for a while. And I watched the first episode because Paramount Plus just came out here in the UK of the Halo TV show. And I enjoyed it. It was fun. It was decent enough sci-fi. And I was having this conversation with my brother where I was like, I had some of the stuff that happened spoiled for me. But I was like, if it makes sense for me in the show's universe and the show reasons well enough for these things to be happening, I'm okay with it. Because I've already played the games. Yeah. I've already read the books. I can experience that as that medium. The TV show's doing something different, and as long as it justifies that, that's fine. I'm not one of those people that just want to clap and go, I saw that before. Because that's always the worst part when it comes to any adaptation, is if they change one thing and then you go, they changed that thing and it wasn't like how I saw it before and I want to see it again, in a different place.
And God forbid they cast a black person and everyone's like, oh my god, it's woke, why did they change this? And it's like, it's still the same character, it's just black now. It doesn't make any difference.
It doesn't make any difference.
Like,
and also the guy that's playing Keys is just an amazing actor. Just like he's genuinely, he's a really good actor.
Would I understand this show without playing the games?
Yeah.
Cool.
It's not hard to grasp. They do. They brought it from an interesting perspective. So to spoil a bit of the backstory for you, the world is basically governed by the UNSC, which are military fascists, and they're basically in charge of humanity. And they don't really show themselves as fascists. They're like, this is better for. They're trying to do like the whole Star Trek thing. Where it's like, well, we're the good guys. We're doing what's best for humanity and controlling the galaxy. And there's these band of rebels that are trying to fight back and stuff like that. And the Spartan program actually gets created to crush those rebels. So Master Chief is not there to save humanity from the Covenant. He was there to destroy the human rebels that were daring to challenge the UNSC. It just so happens that the Covenant, which are the aliens, show up to attack the humans, and they're like, "Oh my god, thank God we had these Spartans." Nobody asked us why. There's just this thinly layered grime all across the UNSC, but they win. They just stay in charge of Earth because the rebels cannot do anything because the Covenant are here, and everybody supports the Spartans suddenly. It's a really dystopian sci-fi world under the guise of this fun action.
Yeah, but we'll see if that keeps up, because I hear the first episode is okay. I mean, everybody complains about the other 8 or 9 episodes, so
yeah, we'll see. I might complain as well, but I'm gonna watch it to the end, and hate my way through it. I might like it. I'm pretty easy with shows.
And also, you said the word rebels, and I was thinking, oh yeah, Star Wars is a thing. Obi-Wan Kenobi, and also
Yes.
Miss Marvel as well, because they're both
Oh my
released on
God.
the same day for some reason.
And it makes my Wednesdays like I can't watch all these shows, and then like it goes to Friday, and I'm like, oh, The Boys is out on Friday. I need to watch The Boys.
Tomorrow is Wednesday, and we've got all episodes of the Umbrella Academy. I know you don't. I know you don't watch that show, but I watch that show, so I'm gonna have to watch all that. And it's the season final of Obi-Wan, and it's another episode of bloody Miss Marvel.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be able to do it because I work 8 hours tomorrow, so it's not going to work out.
I work 8 hours every day, loser. But so with Obi-Wan, I've been loving it. Some people have been really sour on Obi-Wan, and I get why in some aspects. Some parts of it are a bit dumb or a bit, cheesy or a bit cringe or whatever, but I think it's a really fun show. I think it's really, really cool. Very much loving it. Miss Marvel, that's a show that likes to mess with me. That's a show I can't tell if I like it or not. Because it's charming and it's cute and it's fun, but it's also kind of like teen drama cringe, and I'm not really on board for the teen drama cringe. And I feel like whenever those happens, it feels like I'm watching like Riverdale or something, and I'm like, this isn't a show for me. And then something fun and quirky happens, I go, oh no, I'm on board again. Yeah.
I think I'm liking Miss Marvel more than Obi-Wan. I'm not a big fan of Star Wars in general, so a lot of it doesn't really hit with me. But Obi-Wan is a good show. People complain because one of the characters is black.
Yeah.
It's like,
people also just complain because they like complaining. And one thing that I liked is there were a lot of complaints against Reva, and why Darth Vader didn't just kill her. Then it's the worst show. He's so dumb. They've really noobed of Darth Vader, and then we got that big reveal at the end of the last episode. Spoilers for Obi-Wan. Just skip or stop listening. We got this big reveal at the end for Obi-Wan where, oh no, Darth Vader was playing Reva. He was just using her to get to Obi-Wan. He knew the whole entire time that she was messing with him, and in turn, he was messing with the audience as well. But it plays into the downside to weekly releases, doesn't it? Because if you're building up for a twist like that and you have a frustrated audience, being like, how's she getting away with this? How's she getting away with this? And she's not getting away with it, but you don't get that reveal to the second last episode. People will be annoyed online. Whereas if you dumped them all at once, people would get through it and they'd be like, oh no, that was a fun twist, But I still think weekly releases are better.
So I think weekly releases are better as well because it provides conversation, but also I think it's just a culture these days. Everybody's conditioned to watching stuff all at once, and it's like
immediately forming an opinion on something before it's done.
Yeah. They can't wait weekly anymore. It's just a condition of what Netflix started.
Yeah.
I think it's ridiculous. Just wait for a fucking story to unfold. It's like walking out of an Avengers Endgame 1 hour in and being like, "Oh, that doesn't make any sense. This character would never do that." And it's explained 5 minutes later about, "Oh yeah, it makes perfect sense."
Yeah. people are dumb and they upset. To be fair, right? When has internet discourse about any TV show or movie ever been good? The internet is a cesspit.
Yeah. I'm enjoying Miss Marvel. It's a really sweet show. It's
Yeah,
exactly
it's
what I
fine.
wanted out of like a Spider-Man show. It has a good mixture of his like her teenage life and also the superpower stuff.
For me, right now, it's like a 6.5 out of 10. The superpower stuff, I don't really care about.
Yeah, same.
The teen drama stuff, I also don't really care about. I just like the quirky way it's shot and the special effects. I like the vibe the show has. I'm not really invested in any of the characters. But
Yeah, I'm just enjoying it. It's good character stuff.
yeah, yeah.
And again,
I like
again, a lot.
I
Sorry.
like them. I like the Marvel TV shows and how inconsequential they are to everything.
Mm.
You know, they're just like little side comics where you're like, oh, this is a fun adventure. Like,
But a lot of people are complaining about this show because it changes the character of Miss Marvel. Apparently, the superpowers aren't the same as the comics.
yeah. So in the comics, she has like stretchy, like large hands.
Yeah.
Like her hands get big and she gets stretchy. Whereas this one, it's like more cosmic, which I think fits
Yeah.
better for matching Captain Marvel's powers. And also it falls into the other trap of clapping and going, "Ah, I saw this before." You know, how dare they try to do something slightly different with a character to make it more interesting?
A lot of people are saying, "Oh yeah, this isn't the same as the character from the comic books," but as far as I can tell, it's pretty much the same characteristics. As a super fan of as a super fan of like superheroes, and she's a teenager from Pakistan, and that's all there. It's all the same storyline basically.
Yeah. In episode 2, they actually talked a little bit about the history of Pakistan, and it made me thinking. It made me think of that one episode of Doctor Who for Jodie's run.
Yes.
That was really
You
good.
You should definitely rewatch Eddie
Yeah.
of the Punjab. That episode is Jodie Whittaker's best episode.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely will rewatch it at some point. But been a pretty chill month when it comes to just watching stuff, just making my way through different TV shows each day. It's lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. But
Yeah,
shall we wrap up, Scott?
Yes, because it's late.
It is indeed. So you can find us on Facebook at Who Watches Who, on YouTube at Who Watches Who, where the podcast is on video form, on Twitter at Watches Doctor. The podcast is also available in audio form wherever you listen to podcasts. You can listen to me. Well, listen to me. You can find me on Twitter at Cloth223. You can listen to me on this podcast. If you have any questions or opinions about something, send us an email at Who Watches Who, and we will read it. Not send us an email at whowatcheswhopod@gmail.com. Don't just send it to Who Watches Who; it won't go anywhere. Whowatcheswhopod@gmail.com. That's who you need to send the email to, and we will read it out on this our end of the news month, but it will be at the end of July.
And also Matthew will send you a picture of his face.
Yeah, or I'll send you a photo of Scott's face without him knowing. One or the other.
Well, no thanks.
One or the other will happen, but. Yeah, do that. Do that, Greg. I know you're there. But until then, we will see you next week with, is it Attack or Return?
Attack.
Attack of the Cybermen.
But
Ooh.
it was originally supposed to be Return, I believe. So,
See,
no.
I knew that going in. But until then, we will see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.